Hello, what's up, my beautiful people? How in the world are you? My name is Josh. I'm your push coach, and I'm so freaking pumped to be here chatting with you today, whatever day you may be listening to this, whatever time. That's the weird thing about podcasts. I'm talking to you in the present as if we are both in the same present, and we are not. You are listening to this on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I don't know when the heck you're listening to this, but I'm so freaking glad that I get to speak into your life today. This week, as I'm recording this live, I'm so pumped because we have a ton of our life coaches coming into town for our Life Coach Round 8 graduation retreat. So this is our 8th round coming to a conclusion. We will be starting round 9 in January if you're someone interested in getting certified as a life and performance coach. Here's why I get so pumped about these retreats, because for almost 11 years, I've been building a virtual business, and I am really freaking big on personal connection. It's one of my core values is connection. And so these retreats are just this really amazing time that all of these people come in from around the country, really around the world, and we get to spend some time together. We pick different cities around the country each time. This time I've got everyone actually coming right here to my house in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm really, really, really pumped for that. We got cleaners coming tomorrow to knock some things out for us so that we can save some time and energy and aren't spending our whole week trying to clean, although we're spending several hours doing that. But some cleaners coming to finish off the job, and I just cannot wait to hang with everybody. We're going to have a welcome party here at my house on Thursday night. And then we will have workshops, basically 9 o'clock in the morning till 2 to 3 in the afternoon, Friday and Saturday. And then each evening we go out and goof off together. So Friday, I think it's supposed to rain. We're going to go to a brewery, take a bunch of board games with us, hang out, drink some beer. We have some people that will be drinking water. That's fine too. And play board games. And then Saturday, we're going to do something outside and active. We have a 300-acre private park here in Tulsa called The Gathering Place. It was actually voted #1 city park in all of the United States, I believe by USA Today, just a couple of months ago. And I'm going to take everybody there on Saturday. We're just going to go out, explore. They've got just like the craziest, craziest jungle gyms, I guess that's what they're called, in the world. These big, huge ass jungle gyms that look like giant cranes and like different animals. There's this huge pirate ship that goes like 7 stories in the air with like a bridge. There's a huge swing park with all kinds of just creative types of swing. There's this park called it's called Slide Hill, and basically what they did was they took one of the hills in the park and just made it like this drop in. So at the top of the hill there are slides just kind of almost like in a circular area around this hill that goes down, and all of the slides go down into this same little area where parents can like hang out and watch and stuff. Anyways, I'm so pumped for it. Super freaking excited. And I kind of wanted to chat a little bit today about my life coach certification, because we have so many people that are interested, but also don't know what the hell it is. One of the #1 things that we hear from people is like, I don't want to be a life coach, so why would I need a certification? Well, here's the thing. The life coach certification isn't for people who want to be life coaches, even though it all obviously serves for that. It's for anyone in the world that wants to get the foundational knowledge they need to be successful as a human being. And here's what I mean by this. I grew up my entire life just kind of being taught to like, that I have a purpose, that I have all these good things, I have all these wonderful and amazing things in me, and I just kind of have to like go for it. You just have to get out there and just kind of like believe. And guys, it doesn't work very well. It doesn't work very well when we as humans are programmed by society with so much negativity and so many limits. And one of the reasons that like some of you know my story, like I had quit like 4 different businesses in my 20s because I couldn't get a grip on myself enough to get out of my own way to take those steps forward. And so learning the psychology behind what true coaching really is helped me to understand how my brain works, how my feelings work, that the behaviors that I have are not just, so many people are like, you just got to be more disciplined. Well, it's not quite that easy, because the reality is we have limiting beliefs that create feelings that lead to actions. So if you don't know how to deal with the deep-rooted beliefs that are creating these feelings, this is one of my favorite quotes, is that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it fate. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it fate. And that is a quote by Carl Jung. And the power of this is that we are all walking around. 90% of the decisions we make in life are unconscious, not conscious. And then we find ourselves 3 years down the road still struggling with something. We're like, what is wrong with me? Well, it's not that there's necessarily something wrong with you. It's just that you were living unconsciously, creating a cycle that is going on over and over. And this is why the certification is so important to me. It changed my life forever. And then I felt like I did 7 years of business training, of helping other people in business, before I was like, you know what? I need to give back the greatest gift that was ever given to me, which is this life coach stuff. Because the reality is there are so many people I've tried to train in courses that are kind of like Josh in his 20s. They can't get out of their way enough to actually take the action on the things that I'm teaching them. And finally, I was smart enough to say, Josh, if this was the foundational piece you needed to build a house on, it might be the foundational piece that some other people need too. Now, the other thing is, maybe you're, more disciplined than me, have more willpower than me, and you have been able to just push your way through to success, but you're struggling to help others. And you keep telling them what to do and giving them all these tools and giving them all these resources, and nothing is working. Nothing is helping them. That's why you need to know how to life coach people, so that you're not just throwing a bunch of things at people, and you can finally dig deeper with them. Okay. So the certification that I run is way different than a course, because most courses are teaching one specific skill that you need for business. And there's nothing wrong with courses. Courses can be wonderful and great. But we talk to so many people that are like, I've signed up for so many courses and I've never finished any of them. And our life coach certification has a 99% graduation rate. 99% of people not just finish the course, because it's not really a course, it's a full-on program. They actually end up getting certified. And I will tell you that 9 out of 10 people that come into our program are saying things like, I've done 1 million programs and never finished anything. And then they jump into this. And because of the community and the live coaching, people never want to miss a call. There is such a difference between getting on a call where someone talks at you for an hour versus getting on a call where you're taught some skills and then you go into breakout rooms and literally practice them on each other. It's such a powerful experience that no one wants to miss any of the calls. And here's why it's different than some people are like, well, I've taken a mindset course. Here's why it's different. Most mindset courses are literally just pumping you full of a bunch of positivity. And the problem with that, the way I like to explain it is, if you have a garden and you want to grow things in your garden, if there are pre-existing weeds, nothing in the world that you plant in that garden is going to matter, because the weeds will always choke it out. And that's how our subconscious mind is. Most of us have weeds. I mean, that's just what it is. We were raised in a world with a lot of limits and a lot of fear, and those limits and those fear got programmed into our brain. And if you don't know how to actually get down to the bottom and the root of those things, you're just throwing a bunch of fertilizer on a garden that's full of weeds, and that's not going to work very well. So even if it's a great course, 30 different ways to go viral on Instagram, or let's say how to rebrand yourself, even if it's a really good course taught by a really good person, if you still have weeds in your garden, it's not going to help you very much. And so it's so important that you figure this out. Now, I do know of a few mindset courses and even a few life coach certifications that are good at getting down to the root of the issue for the sake of awareness, but then never move beyond that. We've had so many people we've talked to that went through one specific mindset course that I don't want to say out loud, because I think the person is great and I think the course is great. But the reality is these people come to us like, oh, I know what my problem is. I've done some coaching and this is my problem. And we're going, okay, but that was a year ago. So why is that still a problem? And it's because this mindset course, or even maybe a certification, taught them to dig deep enough to find the weed, but didn't teach them what to do to actually uproot the weed and then take forward motion. And this is the part, in my opinion, that like sometimes scares away top leaders, because they're like, I don't want to become a therapist. And I think you can probably tell from my energy and my kind of like in your face, no BS approach, I don't want to be a therapist either. My wife is a therapist and she's amazing at it, but me and her are wired so much differently. The point of life coaching is not to sit in the weeds with someone for 7 hours while they cry about it. The point is to help them find the weed, uproot the weed, and then start to plan out what it looks like to actually start growing the shit they want to grow. In other words, this is where kind of like life coaching meets performance coaching. And we mix the two together, because the last thing in the world we want to do is help someone get down to the root of something and then just leave them hanging there with awareness. Awareness is the start of growth, not the finish line. And so in a true coaching setting that's performance driven, we would, yes, absolutely get down to the root, but then we would create a course of action and accountability to get people moving forward to the place they want to go. And that, guys, that's why even top leaders are starting to jump into this, because they're realizing, in fact, for my 6-figure inner circle that I run, it's part of the package is you do weekly leadership calls with Josh and you go through the certification. And I just finally was like, listen, top leaders, sometimes for whatever reason, again, I think it's like, they're like, I don't want to be a life coach and I don't want to be anyone's therapist. And they're finally starting to understand, if I really want to help people change their life forever, I need to know how to dig deeper with them. And again, that doesn't mean you're doing 75 one-on-one calls with people. For those of you that know my leadership systems that I've taught, I talk a lot about the stadium analogy and how when we're building a team, sometimes we forget that just because someone signs up does not mean that they are one of the players. In reality, what we're really doing is we're building a stadium. And in the stadium, we have some players, but we have a lot of fans. And the last thing you want to do is be life coaching a fan, okay? Like the head coach of the football team is not taking phone calls from fans on Tuesday afternoon because they're struggling. But what he is doing is making sure that all of the players on the team are getting what they need to keep moving forward. And I think what people don't understand is like, you can't just get a group of people together that say they have goals and ambition and just make them do a bunch of things and expect that they will somehow magically just fall into alignment with all the actions when they have all of these beliefs that are holding them back. And the reality is, guys, even 6- and 7-figure earners hire me because they're dealing with belief issues. Now, they're different belief issues than someone who's trying to make their first 10,000 or 50,000 or 100,000, but that's still belief issues. And of course, strategy is so freaking important. I'm so big on strategy. My F leadership book is pretty much 90% strategy. But where strategy fails is when it doesn't also address the beliefs that are holding people back from taking action on the strategy. And so that's why if you're someone who's like a top leader and you're like, I just want to give people the shit to do and get them to go do it, cool, awesome, but you could get a whole lot more out of your time and energy if you also knew how to address the beliefs. When you know how to address the beliefs and the strategy, that's when you become a freaking badass, because you can go into any room and help anybody, anywhere, anytime. And that is why I'm so passionate about this, my friends. I was fortunate enough to learn the psychology side of things through life coaching, then the business side. And I've always said that that was the biggest cheat code in the world, because most people are trying to learn business first, but they're learning business through the lens of all of their limiting beliefs. And so a lot of times I have to help people to unlearn some things to then, it's almost like we got to take one step back to then be able to move forward. When you finally master this specific thing, I'm telling you right now, you can run further, faster. It's just like my shoulder injury, like I've had this kind of like almost fixed shoulder for the last several months. And it's just like every time I go to the gym, I want to lift heavier weights, but my shoulder can't handle it yet. I go to the chiropractor last week. I tell him, I'm like, dude, like, I don't know what's going on, but it's just not getting 100%. Like something is still holding it back. And so, he had me do a couple things. He's like, okay, here's the exact exercise you need to do to strengthen the part of your shoulder that's holding you back. That was Thursday. As I'm recording this, it's Monday. Okay. I went home. First of all, I did those exercises right there on the spot. I'm someone who's like, give me the action. I want to take it as soon as humanly possible. Let's get this process started. Did those exercises again Thursday night. And I've basically been doing them once in the morning, once in the evening. It has been Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's been 4 days. Today I went to the gym and I was able to lift like 20% more than what I was able to do last week. Still wasn't 100%, but my God, it was pretty freaking close. And I'm just like, damn, I just got to keep doing these specific exercises. And they're really annoying. I really don't like them, but it's what's getting me back to 100%. Your business is the same way. So many people have the strategy. And they're like, I know I need to go do this, but then some type of an injury, if you will, in your belief system is keeping you from being able to give your all. And until we can fix that, you're going to constantly be feeling like you're only able to give 60 or 70%, or maybe even less, depending on how bad your injury is. And so when we finally address the subconscious beliefs that are truly holding us back, it is like we are fixing an injury and we are finally at 100% strength and ready to sprint forward. And that's all I want for you, friend. I want you to be able to sprint forward in your business, in your life, in your health, and in your relationships. And that's the other really cool thing about this, is it's not just for business. Your beliefs are literally the thing that is holding back all of the areas of your life, whether it's your health, whether it's your relationship. So people that go through our certification, they're like, holy shit, I feel 100 times more confident about me. And that goes for my business and my health and my relationships. I'm literally more confident in me. That is something we call self-confidence, where you don't need to have some type of experience. You don't need to have some type of a win on your board to believe you can do it. Most people are like, well, when I get to this point, then I'll believe. When I get to this point, then I can do this. When you develop belief finally in self, because you ripped all the freaking weeds out of the garden and you are feeling 100% as your true and most authentic self, that's when you are ready to freaking go. Or as I like to say it, and I apologize if you've got kids in the car, I wake up every day and I message the team and I'm like, let's go fuck some shit up. And that isn't me saying like, let's mess things up. No, it's like, let's go get some things done, because we are operating from a place of 100% confidence and certainty. And if you find yourself questioning yourself, questioning your systems, questioning your methods, the reality is whatever it is you're questioning, somewhere underneath that, you are actually questioning yourself, questioning your leadership, questioning your potential. And I want to help you so freaking bad. So if you're interested at all Okay? We don't even start until January. You can join the wait list at joshcoates.com. So if you go to joshcoates.com, scroll down to the bottom, you'll see there's 2 ways to work with Josh. One is the 6-figure inner circle. That's for people that are 6 figures and above. And then one is the life coach certification. If you join the wait list for the certification, we'll go ahead and hook you up with a totally free call with one of my master life coaches. These are people that are double certified. And the point of this is so many people want to sell what's behind the curtain, some big freaking mystery. And I want to pull back the curtain and let you experience what's there and decide for yourself if it's right for you. And if it's not, no worries at all. But I'm so sick of this bullshit mentality of super successful entrepreneurs being like, it's a mystery, but it's the thing that made me successful. I'm so sick of it. I think that's why people have signed up for so many courses that they didn't finish, is because they got convinced into doing shit that was never in alignment in the first place. And I just want to let you experience this for yourself totally and completely free so that you can either go, holy shit, that's a game changer, I want to learn more of that, or you can go, not impressed. And then, cool. We didn't waste your time. You didn't waste our time. Everybody's good. Everybody's happy. All right. I want to help you find the most aligned thing that's going to help you to move forward in your life and business. Okay. So if you want to check that out, go to joshcoates.com. If you're listening to this the week of, well, this is the first week of November 2024, make sure and check my stories for all kinds of fun little updates of us running around town, having a good time with our life coaches at the workshops, here at my house, over at the Airbnb. I love you all so much. I believe in you so freaking much. And if you're like, dude, I'm not even interested in this life coach stuff, no worries. I do have a free community called Legacy Leadership. It's a totally free community that anyone can join. And I've also got the link for that on my website at joshcoates.com. All right. I love you so much. I believe in you. Please remember, everything you need is living on the inside, and all the resources you'll ever need are right under your nose. Have an amazing day, and I will see you soon, friend.